Yo, what is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to yet another Total War League Siege battle. This one is going to be Wolfgang on the attack versus CIA, aka Comrades in Arms on the defense. This battle is certainly going to be a doozy with Sparta on the attack and Chimera on the defense. I am very excited to watch this battle, and I hope you guys are excited along with me. Guys, if you like this battle at all, make sure to hit that like button. If you love this battle, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Total War League Siege is hosted by the one, the only Hippie Jesus. Marketable skills. His information, as well as other content creators' information, will be down in the description below for Season 7's Total War League Siege. Season 8 is about to start as well, so if you guys haven't gotten your sign-ups in, make sure to sign your team up for Total War League, so that way you have a chance to be able to fight for glory and for victory, and to see who has the biggest dick. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Looking over at the attacking forces, we have got Sparta. Sparta's going to be bringing some periodic spears, Spartan youths, Greek, Scorpion, Royal Spartans, more Spartan youths, a lot of Royal Spartans. 3 units mercenary Cretan archers and a Royal Spartan general. And then, but wait. Oh, Sparta's going to be bringing a small Greek Scorpion, not a Greek giant ballista. Looks like we've got Bactria as the second faction going to go ahead and be bringing a giant Greek ballista. We got a whole bunch of thorax swordsmen, lots and lots of thorax swordsmen. Looks like we got 3 units of Thoreos spears. We've got 3 units of mercenary Syrian archers, 1 unit of Persian light archers, 1 unit of Eastern javelinmen, and a unit of that beautiful Bactrian Royal Cavalry. Such a stunning unit. You love to see it. Going over to the defending forces, we've got Chimera, the meme of this season, Season 7. You either win hard or you lose hard. Let's hope it is the first option for the defenders in this case. We've got some hoplites, some step spearmen, we've got some step archers, some more hoplites, lots of high hoplites. We've got some Chimerian noble infantry, a couple of units that we can see over here, as well as a general unit of Chimerian noble infantry, and then we've got a Greek Scorpion. This thing is going to put the hurt on some of these armored units. It doesn't matter how much armor you have. If you've got an arrow as tall as you are going straight towards you at speeds unknown to man, you're gonna die. That's all I can say. Looking at last but certainly not least, we've got Aravachi bringing some Iberian slingers, lots of Scrutari, some painted warriors, some Iberian swordsmen. Are we seeing the ball sack slingers today as well? We got noble fighters. Where are the rest of their slingers? Iberian skirmishers. Oh, come on. No, it looks like we're not going to be seeing any ball sack slingers today. Very, very interesting decision. We'll see how it turns out for them. I personally love them. We got the step spearmen up here, taking all of the arrows from the towers, just trying to minimize the amount of damage that can go into their forces that are actually inside of the settlement right now. We've got Sparta setting up a slightly defensive position with their towers, defending the torts from any incoming archer fire, or in this case, slinger fire, as they're trying to move up onto the wall to destroy it, capture this tower, and move into the settlement for victory, for glory. Over here, we've got a Scrutarii in loose formation, ready to defend the walls at a moment's notice, pairing up with their allies, the step spearmen, the hoplites. Again, lots and lots of hoplites. Interesting to see, but they are next to a lot of friendly units, so hopefully they'll be able to hold this wall and potentially drive back their opponent. We got the step spearmen quickly trying to get off the wall. We got the tortoise moving in. These guys should probably move back as well, which it looks like they are doing, but they need to quickly get off of here before they fall. We've got the tortoises forcing them to glitch. They're moving back and forth, We might see a couple of step spearmen fall in this one. Oh, we see a couple fall as they're trying to get out of there real quick. A couple are going to die from the crumbling wall over on this side. But now we've got the other wall destroyed. We've got a couple... Ooh, no more step spearmen have actually fallen from that wall destruction. But we do have some archers nearby ready to put down the hurt on some of these forces here on the front line. We'll see how well they do. They really need to save that archer ammo. They've got the archer superiority, the archer advantage in this battle, and the ranged advantage in this battle in general. They really need to use that to their advantage to be able to gain them victory in this battle, because they are fighting against a very, very lightly armored faction, aka Aravachi. So they'll be able to use those archers to absolutely tear apart some of these units. Over here, we've got a unit of Spartan U's actually pushing up another tortoise to be able to continue to break down the walls, make as many holes in the walls as possible, so that way they can engage on as many fronts as possible and really force the defenders to spread out. But it looks like the defenders are going to opt for actually defending the walls in this one. Let's look at a top-down view here. We got the defenders on a huge line defense all up against the wall. They've got some reserves back here, but they have a lot of forces up here. We've got a lot of hoplites, a lot of Scrutari, and a lot of mixtures of units all around here. The Scorpion is ready to be able to fire at a moment's notice into any unit that dares to move inside of the walls. And we've also even got some slingers on the walls ready to fire down upon any enemies that dare to push up any of this equipment. The attackers are going to go ahead and save this battering ram as well as this tortoise to be able to push up onto this gate whenever they've started weakening some of their opponent's forces. We got an archer force moving up to try and get some great fire on these lightly armored forces. The tower is going to go ahead and put a little bit of hurt into them, but we'll see if it actually does any damage. But the attackers have kind of saved some of their siege equipment over on this side, so that while the defenders are distracted against this wall, and while they've kind of done enough damage, whenever they've done enough damage to the defenders, they can then push this siege equipment over, try to break down this gate, try to break down this wall, and cause a type of panic for the attacking forces. So a great move, or I'm sorry, a panic for the defending forces, a great move for the attackers here. Let's go ahead and go back down into that front view. It looks like we don't quite have any engagements yet. We've got a couple of Spartan U's preparing to be able to push over their forces and start breaking down this wall. We've got a unit of Persian light archers on the front line ready to start firing into their opponents. I'm honestly surprised. There we go. I was about to say, I'm honestly surprised they're not firing at them already. Why are they firing into the Steppe Spearmen? A really interesting target. Not necessarily one that you should focus on. You have an extremely lightly armored target right here, the Scrutarii, and a much better use of the ammo. The Steppe Spearmen are a cheap unit. They're meant to waste as much of the attacker's ammo as they possibly can. And with these volleys, they're not even really getting that many kills. Turn your archers over this way. Fire into the Scrutarii. Even if it's a front side facing unit, I know that usually you should fire into the sides or the flank of any unit that you're shooting at, but if you're fighting against Aravachi, they are so lightly armored that, there we go, now we see some of this juicy archer fire going into these lightly armored forces. Because they are so lightly armored in comparison to a lot of other Rome 2 factions, they will take a lot more damage from archer fire, even if you're front side shooting them. What they're going to do is they're going to go into loose formation to try to minimize or mitigate as much of that archer ammo as they can, and they are going to go ahead and stop firing for now. But what that initial volley did is weakened that unit, so now they should start taking losses and dropping like flies if they start getting shot at again. This is also a really good target because they are so clumped up. These guys are showing their side, their shield side, not their sword side, but their side nevertheless. And then these guys are showing kind of their side as well, and they are extremely clumped up. So they'll be able to get a lot of kills, and not too many arrows will miss if they fire into that clump right there. But right now we are... Oh, never mind. We've got our first engagement over here. We've got the Hillmen of Bactria moving into the Steppe Spearmen, trying to do as much damage as they can. Now we've got the unit of regular hoplites moving into the fray to sandwich these Hillmen and try to get them off of the battlefield. We've got the Scrutarii. The Scrutari now firing a lot of their ammo into this Hillman. This is a great move by Bactria, forcing Aravachi to waste a lot of that valuable javelin fire on a very cheap and weak unit. Of course, it's not necessarily a waste. Any unit that you can get off the battlefield or kill is a good unit to focus fire on, but in this case, Man, they've got so many different units piled in here. Yeah, there we go. I'm glad that Aravachi's going to go ahead and fall back, because you don't need that many units in the fray. I know he was just trying to get his charge bonus off and really help out with the killing power, because hoplites aren't necessarily known for their killing power, but having this many units in is really going to make it so they're going to get tired quickly, but not be nearly as effective in just taking out this Hillman unit, and they don't need the support. The Hillman's already starting to break. They're at 61 out of 160 men remaining, and now they are going to shatter and get the hell out of dodge. Archer Fire still trying to come in and help support this front line as much as they possibly can, but as of right now, they are just relaxing, sitting back, relaxing and enjoying the show, trying to waste as much ammo from the defenders as they possibly can, while also trying to pick apart some of these units slowly but surely, piece by piece. Over here, we got the Bactrian Hillman pushing up a couple of towers right in front of the Archer Tower over here, trying to minimize the amount of Archer fire that's going to go ahead and go into their troops. Definitely a really good move, and a move that I've seen a lot in Total War League Siege as of late, because it blocks these windows, so the arrows have to continue to fire into the tower, so they won't actually fire into the troops. So it's a great move, especially if you're unable to capture the tower at that specific moment in time. Archer Fire is trying to go into these hoplites, do as much damage as they possibly can, but they're doing the old kite maneuver, forcing them to continue to waste a bunch of their Archer ammo into the hoplite, moving back and forth, so that way, where the Archer had targeted previously, let's say the hoplite's here, the Archer fires their ammo, and then the hoplite moves this way, well, the ammo's still going to hit there, so it's going to be a great, great move by Chimera, really wasting the Archer ammo of their opponents in this battle, which is exactly what they need to do. Because they have such a lightly armored faction in this battle, they have to be careful. We've got a lot of ammo actually going into these hoplites. We've got actually a decent amount of dead over here. Great job by the attackers focusing down some of the Iberian slingers and putting down the hurt. Now they're trying to focus the hoplites, which I'm surprised about, because the hoplites are so heavily armored with their big old shields as well, and they're getting kited hard. And the defenders can do this because they're not pressured anywhere else, so they can literally just sit here and focus on trying to make sure that these archers just continue to waste ammo without getting any kills. So the defenders are doing an amazing job right now. Great job by the Comrades in Arms. Over here, we've got another unit of Bactrian Hillman in the fight. The hoplites were in there initially fighting against them, but now they're going to swap out with the Scrutari, favoring this killing power that the Scrutari have to be able to try and do what they can to melt this Bactrian Hillman, get them off the battlefield, and retake this kind of choke point. But now we're starting to see the medium tier infantry, the Thorax swordsmen, moving into the front line to be able to fight against the Scrutari, fight against the hoplites, and try and support their Bactrian brothers in arms, Bactrian Hillman brothers in arms, to be able to move into the settlement and get some kills. And we've also got even more Hillmen moving into the fray, fighting against a couple of hoplites. This is a great time to be able to move up some Scrutari or some range forces to be able to start getting some shots into the backs of this Thorax swordsman, which is exactly what they're going to do. We also see some Archer fire coming in from the defenders as well. The Steppe archers are going to start firing directly into the side of these Thorax swordsmen, and now they are completely surrounded, and they are going to fall quickly. For a over 700 gold cost unit, I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a waste, and especially once these Bactrian Hillmen break, if they don't start sending more support, then every single one of these units is just going to continue to pile into these Thorax swordsmen and melt them like a hot knife through butter. And especially with all of the Archer fire that's coming in as well, this is insane. We're also having Archer fire coming in from the attackers, which isn't a bad idea. Going into the spear side of these hoplites, they'll be able to kill them relatively quickly. As you can see, they're just dropping like flies every time that a volley goes into them. This is a great position and a great move from the attacking forces, really utilizing their archers to the best of their ability. The Thorax swordsmen are still in the fray. They have 79 men remaining, 66 kills so far, but with the cycle charging of the Scrutari, these Thorax swordsmen do not stand a chance. We've also got another unit of Scrutari, not one, but two Scrutari cycle charging into the Thorax swordsmen at the same time. The hoplites are acting as the anvil. Whoa, that was a little bit of lag. While the Scrutari are acting as the hammer and just packing a punch, putting the hurt on the Bactrian forces. We got a lot of Bactrian forces beginning to break here. If they want to continue with this push, they really need to move some more forces in here. I mean, you can sit back as much as you want, but there is a time limit. You have an hour to be able to take the settlement, and the more time that it takes, the more likely that it is that the defenders are going to win by time. And if you're super slow in attacking these areas, you're going to give the defenders a better opportunity to be able to really focus down one area and make the best moves possible. You really want to do whatever you can to make the defenders make mistakes. If you can force the defenders to make mistakes, you're going to be looking pretty in the battlefield. Over here, the Scrutari are actually getting kind of melted by some archer fire, which is exactly what the attackers need to do. They need to focus all of their ammo on these lightly armored troops, not necessarily the Steppe Spearmen, but the Scrutari. Just continue to fire at them. They are a more lightly armored force, so the more arrows that you can put into them, the better, and then you won't have to deal with them in the future. I'd say in this battle, the Aravachi player is going to be the killing power, whereas Chimera, for the most part, is going to be the anvil. They have a lot of hoplites. They have a lot of holding units. The holding units are actually starting to break on this front line, which they have to be careful about, but they do have some reinforcements moving up, some more hoplites moving up to the front line to be able to continue to defend this location. Scrutari are in the fray now against these Thorax Swordsmen, trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. We've also got the Greek Scorpion firing into some of these forces, into the Scrutari, just trying to get them killed, get them off of the battlefield. They've moved up some more of their elite troops first. I just realized the Scrutari are going to be the more elite troops for Aravachi in this battle. I'm surprised that they've moved up their more expensive troops right off the bat instead of moving up the Iberian Spearmen or Iberian Swordsmen. I do love to see it, though, because you don't see it nearly as often as I think you should. The archer ammo is really focusing down these hoplites. A top-down shot. I don't know why they're wasting so much ammo on hoplites. You're going to waste a lot of ammo without having that much of an effect. Save your ammo for the squishy troops. Focus down the killing potential of Aravachi. Do what you can, because if you take out the Aravachi troops, then you almost guarantee yourself a win in the battle, and save your ammo as well. It is going to be extremely important for the late game of the battle, especially with that noble fighter general. And the Painted Warriors with their charge bonus. I believe they also have a frenzied charge ability, but don't quote me on that. If they do, then that would be huge with archer fire. And we've got Bactria doing a great job of really focusing down Aravachi. We've got a unit of lightly armored Steppe Spearmen now moving into the fray to be able to hold off against these Thorax Swordsmen. But there is a lot of archer fire going in here and wreaking havoc. They should probably move up this unit of Thorax Swordsmen because this hoplite is close to being dead. And the Scrutari's already used some of their ammo. The Thorax Swordsmen are a better armored unit, so they can take a couple of volleys of Pila to the face and still be okay. Continue to put pressure on here. Don't just send one unit at a time. Put as much pressure on this front line as you can, because if you can break through this, right now you have the tower neutralized, but if you continue to only send one unit at a time, they're going to do exactly what they're doing and completely focus down these units. Now, is this the most prime position for these Steppe Archers? No, it is not. They are firing directly into the fronts of these Thorax Swordsmen. Some of the archer fire is hitting the walls because the archers want to target the full unit. And it's hitting a lot of their shields, so it's not going to get nearly as many kills. So I'd say that that's a pretty good situation for the attackers to be in. As far as wasting ammo, the archers should not be the ones firing at them like this. That is the slingers' job. The slingers need to move forward, switch out with the archers, and just front fire into these Thorax Swordsmen, because that is what slingers are meant for. That is why they have so much ammo, because you are, especially with the angles that you can't get with this. Okay, now you can get some good shots on these guys, but the angles that you can't get with these slingers, because the slingers can't really fire over buildings or anything like that, slingers just front dump as many units as you can, do as much damage as you can, and support that front line, because that is what you're made for. Save your archer ammo. Don't get too cocky. Over on this side, we've got a unit of Thorax Swordsmen as well as a unit of Spartan Youths moving in. The Spartan Youths are going to go ahead and fall back now that the Scrutari kind of moved up to be able to countercharge them. But we've got this depleted unit of Hoplites in the fray, just trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. We've also got the Iberian Slingers right next to the wall, trying to make it so that way the Rome 2's glitchiness cannot focus them down, because if you are super close to the wall with your Slingers, then it's going to give the archers a really tough time to be able to fire into your troops. This is a good opportunity. The Spartan Youths need to take it. This could potentially be a good opportunity to move into these Iberian Slingers and do a lot of damage. We've got some artillery fire going into the Scrutari in this forest. It is in loose formation, and only one unit here. I didn't even think about this, but the defenders are doing an amazing job of making sure that the artillery has no good targets to fire at. A lot of their units are up against the wall, and because the attackers aren't really utilizing... See, the Cretan archers only 80 kills, and they're out of ammo already because they were focusing down hoplites. That is a rough sight to see if you are cheering for the attacking forces. The Great Scorpion, on the other hand, still have ammo. I just heard them fire, and they have 154 kills right now. That is great to see. But yeah, you need to save up your archers to be able to fire at the squishy targets. Please fire at the squishies. Oh, they're going to fire into the front lines of the hoplites. They're going to fire a little bit into the Scrutarii, but I guess this is a really rough decision because this front line is holding very, very well. What do you shoot at? You need to do something to be able to take them out. Do you shoot at the hoplites, the heavily armored hoplites that can take a lot of arrows? Or do you save your ammo for a better opportunity? I guess in this case, they are just trying to get past this front line and get inside of the settlement. Now we've got the Slingers starting to fire into the new unit that has moved in. We got another unit of Thorax Swordsmen that has moved in. The Scrutari are going to go ahead and use a little bit of a charge bonus to try to get as many kills on these Thorax Swordsmen as they possibly can and start to weaken them, while the Hoplites are holding the line valiantly and holding back all of those that wish to enter the death zone, aka hell. The settlement of hell. There we go. Now we've got a unit of Periakai Spears, although I'm not sure why he is not sending over a Spartan Youths to mount this. We've got a unit of Periakai Spears that are on the ram, ready to move up at a moment's notice, start trying to take down this gatehouse, and start pushing over on some other sides. But they have a few different breach points. They've got this breach point. They got this one. They got this one. They can create one over there as well. They can move towers over this way. Like, this is a great position for the defenders right now. This is a huge choke point. And sending one unit at a time, I believe that their hope is that the defenders are going to waste all of their ammo. But in this case, because they have slingers, because they have so much ammo, hit them at different angles. Overwhelm them. Do whatever you can to overwhelm them. Have Sparta come into this front line with their more heavily armored troops and take some fire while you go in on the sides, while Bactria goes on the sides with those Thorax Swordsmen, with those Thoreo Spears, and really just tries to put the hurt in on the defending forces. But right now, they're really just taking it one step at a time, and taking one step at a time, quite literally, whereas they're just sending one unit inside of the settlement at a time and just having them get fired upon, fired to death. Great move with the Thoreo Spears, moving them up to be able to fire into the lightly armored Scrutarii, trying to keep them back and trying to make sure that they can't do nearly as much damage. We've got a Chimerian Noble Infantry that is pushed into the Spartan Youths, actually taking the fight outside of the settlement, trying to do as much damage to the Spartan Youths as they possibly can. But they're going to go ahead and fall back into the city. They don't want to push out to where these archers can get a good angle on them, although I'm not sure how much ammo these archers have yet left. We have two... Or is that one? Is that just one archer that's at ammo? So that archer's out of ammo. That archer has ammo. That archer has ammo. The Scorpion has ammo still, which is great to see. What about these archers over here? This archer's out of ammo, but with 245 kills, that is not bad at all. This archer still has full ammo. This archer still has ammo with 114 kills. Javelin men still have ammo. So they're not doing too bad. They still have a lot of ammo. They still have a lot of opportunity to be able to put the hurt in on these lightly armored troops. The Thoreo Spears are trying to do whatever they can to be able to get to a good position to be able to fire into these troops. Now they're going to fire into the flank of these Scrutarii to try and give these Thorax Swordsmen the breathing room they need to move into the settlement and continue to put the hurt in on some of these hoplites. We've got some hoplites moving up to be able to reinforce this area. We've got a unit of Scrutarii over on the front line that was being shot at. by the Thoreo spears initially, ready to move in at a moment's notice as well. These Scrutarii are starting to break. They're going to try to fall back and keep them from breaking, but they have broken that unit of Thorax Swordsmen, so now they can continue to sit back, relax, and just try to do as much damage as they possibly can. The Slingers were firing at the Thorax Swordsmen. To add insult to injury, they were firing at the Thorax Swordsmen as they were retreating. 18 men remaining. They are shattered with 82 kills. Ouch. But now we've got more Thorax Swordsmen moving into the front line. A unit of 159 out of 60 charging into these hoplites, trying to get as many kills as possible. And the Scrutarii continuing to get cycle charges in and do as much damage as they possibly can. Looking over at the Scorpion. The Scorpion has not fired a single shot. Oh, they are starting to fire now. They were saving the Scorpion ammo initially. What are they firing at? Oh, the Royal Spartans. I can only assume that they're firing at the Royal Spartans to be able to try and get them out of this battle. They are a very, very heavily armored, dangerous troop. So I do not blame them for firing at them at all. These Steppe Spearmen, 21 men remaining, still in the battle somehow. Usually Steppe Spearmen break relatively quickly, but they have 21 men remaining, 11 kills. We've got this unit of Scrutarii that is depleted, charging right into the butt of the Thorax Swordsmen, just trying to take them out and help these hoplites to be able to hold the front line. We've got the Royal Spartans starting to fall back a little bit now that the Scorpion fire is going into them. But yeah, they're going to continue to try and engage this front line with some of their Spartan use. We've got a unit of Pyrrhici spears actually moving into that front line to be able to try and do as much damage as they possibly can and really help out with this battle. And the Steppe Spearmen are finally breaking against the might of the Royal Spartans. They did not stand a chance. Even just looking at them makes them want to leave this battle. Now, the Scrutarii are doing a great job with those cycle charges, having 110 kills now, just racking up those kills, getting as many kills as they possibly can, even though they are so depleted, and getting kills against a good unit too. Thorax Swordsmen and Royal Spartans, not a bad target at all. It looks like they're going to go ahead and leave this unit of Scrutarii in the front line, keep their killing power right on the front line to be able to continue to try and do as much damage as they possibly can. We got a unit of Scrutarii holding off on the side, trying to get some kills on these Pyrrhici spears and just take them out if they can. But doing a great job of really trying to bring their killing potential to the forefront and get as many kills as possible. Even using the Scrutarii that still have ammo to be able to get some great spear side shots over into this Pyrrhici spears. Luckily for the attackers, it's not the Royal Spartans. The Royal Spartans have really moved into that front line to be able to try and do as much damage as possible. But they are showing their spear side to slingers. Do we have some more ranged fire? We need to see another slinger moving over onto this side, I think. If we see another slinger, do these archers still have ammo? These archers do still have ammo, so they're going to go ahead and let loose onto those Royal Spartans or onto any unit that they possibly can to try and take them out. I got 94 kills, 125 kills, and it looks like one of them is out of ammo, and I can't imagine that the other one has much ammo left as well. But the slingers are going to continue to put the hurt into the Royal Spartans and fire into their side. We've got the Scrutarii continuing to cycle charge right in front of these Royal Spartans. Again, just trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. We've got that initial Scrutarii with 123 kills, 17 men remaining, starting to finally break against the might of Sparta and Bactria. This is a slugfest, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes. Just look at the amount of dead bodies that are on this battlefield here. I mean, so many men have lost their lives so far during this battle, and there are still so many men to lose their lives during this battle as well. But the defenders are doing a great job of holding this position, unfortunately not having the tower still. Oh, they have actually pushed back the defenders enough to be able to capture this tower themselves. If the attackers can keep capturing this tower, well, now that the Scrutarii are moving into the circle, they won't continue to capture the tower, but if they can push back these Scrutarii and capture this tower, that could be huge. Towers can rack up a lot of kills very quickly and very easily, so if they can take that tower, that would be huge. Absolutely huge for the attacking forces. The slinger fire. Man, the slinger fire that's going into here. We got the 2 units of Iberian slingers just shooting into these Thoreo spears, trying to take them out. I can only assume that they still have ammo. They're going to go ahead and move in, but a little too late. The hoplites are going to go ahead and push forward, hold them back, and just make sure that they don't break through this front line. And this is a solid front line. The cycle charging Scrutari continuing to charge into these Royal Spartans is huge. Now we've even got some additional archers moving up over onto this side to be able to continue to put the hurt onto these Royal Spartans and try and take them out. The Royal Spartans are now showing their buttocks over to both the slingers and the archers, and they are going to take a lot of damage for it. They're trying to reposition themselves to get to a better spot, but it's also giving the Scrutari a good opportunity to be able to shank them right in their ass, and force them to just fall and crumble, and they are actually starting to break. A unit of Royal Spartans, a unit of 63 Royal Spartans left are actually starting to break. They are going to come back, but that is a scary sight to see, especially if you're the attackers. Now we've got a couple of units, it looks like, of Bactry and Hillman moving back over to the front line just to be able to throw more bodies into the fray. They're going to quickly break, but hopefully they were able to at least get a kill or two. But yeah, the might of the Scrutari and the hoplites that are holding this front line. Now we've even got the Cimmerian Noble Infantry moving up to be able to join the fight, get in on the action. Wow, we've got a fresh unit of Royal Spartans in the fray as well. The depleted unit of Royal Spartans with 123 kills so far, 40 men remaining, are continuously trying to hold, but for how much longer? The defenders are doing a great job of really focusing down these elite troops that the attackers have brought and making sure that they cannot wreak as much havoc on their front lines as I believe that the attackers would wish. But yeah, we've got some Thorax swordsmen, we got a unit of Thoreo spears, we got Royal Spartans, lots of Royal Spartans over here on the front line. Let's go ahead and look at what we actually have left over on the attacker side as well. We've got a unit of Eastern Javelin men that haven't used their ammo yet. We've got the general unit, we've got some Spartan U's, Thoreo spears, Syrian archers that are out of ammo. They have their knives out. A unit of depleted Pyrrhici spears, Thorax swordsmen, Syrian archers that still pretty much have full ammo, Thoreo spears that I can only imagine have used their ammo. I believe the Greek Scorpion is out of ammo. No, they still have ammo. Wow, very impressive with 178 kills. Not bad at all. We got some Cretan archers. These guys still have ammo. These guys do not. Their daggers are out. We got a unit of Spartan youths. 2 more units of fresh Royal Spartans. A couple of units of Spartan youths that are just taking hits right now from the nearby towers. If they're not going to move in on this side, they should probably fall back a little bit here, just so the tower doesn't get some free kills on them. But now could potentially be the time to push in on that other angle. Send in some, just send in a unit of Spartan youths. Force the defenders to start looking in 2 directions to potentially make them make some huge mistakes. Looking at what the defenders have left, we've still got plenty of Scrutari, Iberian swordsmen, painted warriors, noble fighter, general. We've still got a couple of units of steppe archers. Do they have ammo or are they out? Daggers, and these guys still have ammo, but I can't imagine they have that much left. And then we do still have some hoplites, but it looks like Chimeria, for the most part, is on the front line. We've got a couple of units of Chimerian Noble Infantry, one of which is the general unit of Chimeria. And then we've got a unit of Steppe Spearmen on the wall, but for the most part, we've got a lot of hoplites here on the front line. And it looks like the attackers have given up on this breach point and are just trying to focus down this one area over here. The hoplites are holding valiantly against the Royal Spartans, but we've got a lot of slinger ammo trying to get some fire on the spear side of these Royal Spartans, and that is a great target. 2 clumped up units together, just shoot everything you got over into that unit, do as much damage as you possibly can. We got mercenary Cretan archers potentially moving up here. Do they still have ammo? They do still have ammo. It must have been a little bit of the Rome 2 glitchiness that was trying to convince them to move up and into the settlement. They're trying to get a good angle, but they're really getting kind of screwed here by Rome 2's glitchiness. They need to move back, find another angle, and start peppering down these frontline troops. How are the Cimmerian Noble Infantry doing? These guys have 25 kills so far, but all they've been fighting against is Royal Spartans, the elite of Sparta, a faction bred for war, born and raised to be able to bring forth defeat upon any enemy that they fight on the battlefield. So as far as I'm concerned, these Chimera Nova infantry are kicking ass. Over here, we've got the Spartan U's fighting with the Royal Spartans. This must be a majestic unit for these U's, or a majestic moment for these U's, fighting alongside such an elite force of Spartans and learning so much. If any of them should survive, hopefully they'll move up to maybe some like Periodikai hoplites or something like that and move up in the ranks, given a little bit of better armor, you know, all of that good stuff. But yeah, just a slow but sure slugfest over on the middle side of the battlefield. And still nothing sent over onto this side. I'm honestly surprised. The defenders are being spread a little bit. Not necessarily, I shouldn't say spread. But the attackers are doing work on the defenders. They are taking out units slowly but surely. And I would say now would be the time to be able to start pushing in and doing as much damage as possible. But I guess only time will tell. Step Archers with 30 kills, 46 kills so far, just waiting for an opportunity to be able to start getting some more great fire into these forces. Scrutarii, 19 men remaining, 87 kills so far. We've got Hoplites and Scrutarii starting to break. We've got the Peltas actually starting to fire into this front line, trying to do whatever they can to support their Spartan ally. Royal Spartans with 52 kills so far, 123 men remaining. Spartan U's 12 kills, 92 men remaining. Royal Spartans, 92 men remaining, 85 kills. They're really sending in whatever they can to be able to do as much damage as they possibly can. And now the Iberian swordsmen are moving up to the front line to be able to try and use their ammo. Now might be the time to move up onto the wall and start firing down. But they do have a lot of archer fire that's coming in and just keeping them from being able to do too much damage to the attacking forces. And that archer ammo is really tearing these guys up. Wow, 121 men remaining, 5 kills so far. Step archers are actually starting to take some fire from that archer nearby as well. They did target something at first, but it looks like they have decided to stop targeting it. Scrutarii continuing to get those cycle charges into the Royal Spartans. We got the depleted unit of Periodikai Spears now moving back into the front line to be able to support. And again, it is just a huge hoplite slugfest. This is insane. The Royal Spartans are trying to do whatever they can to be able to push past this front line. We've got the Peltas firing into the sides. How many kills do they have so far? 70 kills. Definitely not bad. Doing some good damage against these forces. Just trying to take out these lightly armored Scrutarii. A great target to target with some javelin men. So they're really helping out this frontline force. But yeah, the Periodikai Spears and the Royal Spartans are really just trying to do whatever they can to be able to hold off their opponents in this one. Spartan U's and the Royal Spartans still doing everything that they can. A couple of units, it looks like, yep, we still got a unit, what is this, 2 units of Royal Spartans outside of the walls ready to move in at a moment's notice and try to get as many kills as they possibly can. Spartan U's are starting to break, the Periodikai Spears are starting to break for the second time. We've got a unit of Thoreo Spears with 88 kills so far on the front lines, trying to support Sparta and just trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. But yeah, these Periodikai Spears are not going to hold on for long. These Scrutarii with 19 men remaining, 94 kills, are definitely not going to hold on for long as well. They are fresh, but they are depleted. And the Royal Spartans with 65 men remaining with 106 kills. Not bad at all. Great move. Great moves. Now over here we got the Iberian Slingers. These Iberian Slingers are out of ammo. 87 kills. We've actually got some... Are these Iberian Slingers? These Iberian Slingers still have ammo. 114 kills so far. We've got the Steppe Archers utilizing the rest of their ammo. Now just taking out their daggers. Also, that guy's dagger was sick. Look at that. Look at those hilts. Oh man, we got people running through. Look at the hilts of these daggers. That's gorgeous. I love the design of those daggers. That's actually really cool. Great job, Chimera. Chimera has some great units. Oh, look at this, guys. We've got the attackers starting to make a little bit of a breakthrough here. We got Thorax Swordsman pairing up with the Royal Spartans, really utilizing this opportunity to continue to break through. We got a lot of range capabilities moving into here, just trying to fire into these forces and push them back. But the attackers are going to utilize this momentum and just try to get as many kills as they possibly can. Scrutarii with 48 kills so far. Another unit of Painted Warriors with 3 kills. Really just trying to do as much damage against these guys as they can. We do have the towers, one of the towers starting to fire into that front line as well. Going to be able to get a couple of kills, which is great. But the attackers have successfully taken the tower here in this corner. Which is going to be huge. A lot of free kills on the defending forces. The tower has turned on those that wish to defend it, and that is going to be rough for the defenders, but they are going to continue to hold valiantly. Over on this side, I think both Iberian Slingers are completely out of ammo. We've got these step archers that are at ammo with 132 kills trying to move in and maybe get a side charge off on these forces with their awesome daggers. Yeah, try to get a little bit of a side charge off on these guys and just try to break them. The Royal Spartans with 31 men remaining, 122 kills, are actually starting to break, which is huge. But it looks like we got some more Spartan U's moving in the fray. 5 kills so far. Royal Spartans that are starting to fall, 30 men remaining, 144 kills. Sparta's going to really have to send up some more reinforcements to be able to put the pressure and continue the pressure on these guys. The Thorax Swordsman that was sent in to support Sparta is breaking. 72 men remaining, quickly falling to the might of the Painted Warriors and the Scrutari. With 91 kills, and we've got Painted Warriors just racking up the kills as well, and now they can completely surround the Spartan Youth unit and completely break them relatively quickly. Do we have more units moving into the front line? They need to continue to surround these guys and take this tower so it stops firing onto them. A lot of archer fire going into those Royal Spartans. They need to stop firing, though. They are broken. Save your ammo for the next unit that moves in. But it looks like now they're going to go ahead and start focusing fire on some of these Thoreo spears. 82 kills and 121 men remaining, 113 kills, 64 men remaining. They are starting to break. The Scrutarii that was holding it initially are starting to break. We've got a unit of Step Spearmen that has moved in to be able to plug the gap. But we do have the Bactrian Royal Cavalry moving into the fray, trying to get in here and try to pop some abilities and bring forth some inspiration on their troops, but they're going to quickly fall back after going in and saying a couple of words. I would as well. Would not want to deal with that. Now we've got... Oh my goodness, now we've got a huge push from Sparta. We've got the General Spartan unit, the Royal Spartan General, as well as another unit of Royal Spartans moving into the front line. They're going to go ahead and fall back, try to reform, and get ready for another huge push. We've got the Thoreo Spears. I don't... What is going on? Oh, okay, now they're starting to move into the Chimerian Noble Infantry, but they are going to go ahead and get completely surrounded here. Was that worth it? They're going to try to take out this general. But even if they take out the general, Chimera really doesn't have much in the way of forces left over. We've got the Chimerian Noble Infantry over here, and then some depleted archers, but that's about it. The Painted Warriors decided to sally out. Wow, we've still got a unit of Royal Spartans. We've still got a couple of units of Royal Spartans in here as well. But a unit of fresh Royal Spartans moved up into the front line to be able to continue to put the hurt in on the defenders. They are starting to make ground over here slowly but surely. The Chimerian Noble Infantry showing their backs to some of these archers over here. Mercenary Korean archers still with ammo. A couple of their arrows are going to go ahead and hit that tower. But for the most part, they are going to hit this general and hit this general hard with everything that they can. Luckily for the defenders, they are starting to break some of these forces. The Spartan U's are starting to break with 65 kills, 66 men remaining, and the Thoreo Spears, they are regaining confidence, but for how long? We got a unit of depleted Thorax Swordsmen coming into the fray, trying to go around the flank of these Chimerian Noble Infantry, but they too are starting to break. We've got a shattered unit of Thoreo Spears starting to fall, but we also have that Chimerian Noble Infantry that's been holding forever, finally broken, leaving the gap open for this fresh unit of Royal Spartans to move into the fray. These Royal Spartans over here are completely surrounded, but they are still holding valiantly. They need to quickly move the Royal Spartans up and continue to put pressure on the defenders. Over on this side, Bactrian Royal Cavalry are now moving into the fray. The gates have been opened. They're going to charge into these Iberian Slingers. I don't know if they have ammo left over. 58 kills so far. We've got the Iberian Swordsmen moving up to try and use their Pila, but the cavalry is free to move in. They are getting kind of surrounded here, but they are going to continue to try and move through this settlement, stay alive, and do whatever they can. The Iberian Swordsmen, unfortunately, didn't throw any of their ranged capability, but we do have Iberian Skirmishers that still have ammo. Hopefully, they'll start firing into this cavalry unit here soon. They need to fire on them and get rid of that cavalry. Sparta's going to go ahead and send over a unit of Royal Spartans as well as a unit of Spartan U's to be able to put more pressure over here. These Royal Spartans might go around and try to charge into the backs of these Chimerian nobles. Painted Warriors still on the front line, holding valiantly against Sparta. Is this the push that the oh, there goes the General of Bactria. But it looks like Bactria, for the most part, is out of infantry anyways. So it's not the biggest thing in the world, but every unit that falls means that That's another unit towards the overall army losses that could potentially happen. Painted Warriors sallying out to be able to get into some of these mercenary Cretan Archers. The Cretan Archers are out of ammo, but if they can get into them and kill them, then that would be absolutely huge. Because again, the more units that they can kill, the more likely it is to affect the army losses of the attackers. And these Chimerian Noble Infantry are surrounded. We've got a unit of Steppe Archers that still have ammo moved up onto the walls to be able to fire down onto these Royal Spartans to try to do as much damage as they possibly can. These unit of Royal Spartans were starting to break, but now that the Chimerian Noble Infantry has turned around to surround these Royal Spartans, they are going to continue to hold. But again, for how long? 41 men remaining, fighting against some Painted Warriors as well as some Scrutari with some great kills, 95 and 142 so far. They are starting to break these Royal Spartans again. They need to break them quickly so that way they can't get too many kills on the Chimerian Noble Infantry. And this unit of Royal Spartans that was relatively fresh are starting to break. Between the archer fire and being completely surrounded, they are going to break and shatter, and that is huge for the defenders. We got a unit of mercenary Cretan archers starting to break over on this side, and the defenders still have a decent amount of troops. We've got a unit of Thoreo Spears that's going to completely surround the Chimerian Noble General, but now we've got a unit of Iberian Swordsmen quickly countercharging the Thoreo Spears, trying to get them off the back of the General and save the General so that way he can continue to fight and deal damage to the Spartan youths that they are fighting against. The General has 107 kills so far. Spartan General has put his back against the wall to be able to fight against these painted warriors and the Chimerian Noble Infantry with 112 men left, 101 kills. We've got some depleted Spartan youths starting to move into this gap and try to move into their opponents as well. But if they have any ammo at all left, move them right here and fire directly into the side of those Royal Spartans. It is spear side, and it is the General. If they can take out that General, it is going to be GG's for the attackers. But it is just a huge mosh pit right now. I mean, we've got Iberian Swordsmen on the front line over here. We've got some Iberian swordsmen on the front line over there, and that's actually going to be it. There is the army losses, and Wolfgang is going to take... Wait. The Comrades in Arms are going to go ahead and take the victory in today's battle, and what a battle it was, guys. Man, am I excited to be able to see the results of this battle, the kills. That was amazing. Let's go ahead and end this replay here. We've got Bupathi coming in top with the kills, Nella coming in second, Chairman Mao coming in third, and Boss Prophet coming in fourth. Bupathi having 1,938 kills, doing a great job with their slingers, 164, and the rest of the units, 110, 213, 154, 116, 221, 153, 106, 125. Boss Prophet doing a great job with his archers as well, 202, 167, 205 on a Scorpion unit, well done, 122, 122, 154, 137, and then some kills on those U's as well. Looking at Chairman Mao, we've got doing a good job with the archers, 134, 109, 141, 125, 177 on that General, 159, 116, 113, and even getting some kills with the Steppe Spearmen, which you don't usually see. Last but certainly not least, we've got Nella, 112, 119, 155, 254, 108, 120, 124. Overall, a fantastic battle, guys. Again, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you love this video, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.